we are growing. I started this business. This is my 4th year in the business. And I started in a most humble way because when I saw this business, at first I did not give it, by the time I was still in medical school. So when a person invited me in this business, when they shared with me, I saw the concept. I said I had understood, even when I had not understood really, just to see them leave my presence as early as possible because I felt I was tired of listening. But then 2 years after I had finished graduation and started practice as a medical doctor in Kampala, the reality came to me that if I wanted to make progress in my life, I didn't have to only rely on one source of income. I needed to create another source of income because at that time, medical personnel were not getting really good pay in my country. You have a good title, but then the money that comes with it, surely with my own calculations and where I wanted to be, I saw there was a mismatch. Sometimes it's not about how much money you are making. Sometimes it's about where you want to go. And you ask yourself that when I look at where I want to be and the vehicle that I say is going to take me there, do they match? You see, because even, yes, someone may say, but hey, I have a job, I have what I'm doing. That is now, yes, that may be okay. But now the question is, the work you're doing, will it lead you to where you want to be? So it's such, it ceases to be just an issue of working. It now becomes an issue of what I'm doing. Will it lead me to where I want to go? So the person who invited me in the business had been in the business for 2.5 years, and that is my upline, Gideon Paul. And after 2.5 years, he had been able to build himself a house. I think at that time was about 30 years of age. So when he sends me this picture of a house he had constructed from the business, at that time, for us medical personnel in Uganda, we were demonstrating to the government to increase our salaries. I had gone about 6 months without pay. The landlord is demanding, you have to feed. Meanwhile, you have to keep working because in Uganda, at first you are going to work for government. It's the government that pays, and so you reach a time where you are on the wall. I remember one time, you start receiving these bank messages reminding you, you receive a message where you think you've received the money from the bank, and the bank is telling you how you need to withdraw your money before the weekend, and you realize that you actually don't have any money on the bank account. Those times where you would receive, remember, at that time when I just received my first salary, I was so excited. The first month I was excited. The second month I was excited. But now the third month, I realized that, hey, my salary would get done 2 weeks into the month. And so I had this lot of month left after the month, and then you have to go through those 2 weeks. They are the longest for someone who is only dependent on a salary. If you've not been in that situation, those 2 weeks are the longest when your salary is done. So when Gideon sends me this message, when we were demonstrating, it took me far. I said, you know what? I think I should have joined this business early. Sometimes someone shares with you an idea, you may think sometimes people you think only to realize later that your knowledge you had was not the applicable knowledge. You needed to have a better knowledge. So when he sends me this picture of when he had just built his house from the business, I said, Gideon, I want to come back and show me this business you're doing. And then I went to the office here in Kampala, Rizzi Complex. He shared with me the business again. This time around, I didn't ask many questions. Already in my heart, I knew I should have started this business early. And now this is my 4th year in the business. Gold Executive Prime, achieve different achievements, my team as a person. And then I've been also to different countries because of this business. And I'm very glad now to be amongst you this evening to share with you a very simple product training. Now, of course, my brother Kasinde, when he invited me, said we needed to understand our products. You see, friends, one of the things that I've connected with in our business is the issue of health. one gentleman, I think it is Napoleon Hill, in one of the books called Think and Grow Rich, he says that one of the major causes of success, if you have to be a successful person, one of the things that people who have a mark or people who have signs and symptoms of becoming rich and successful, those are people who pay keen attention to their health. In fact, if you study all top earning CEOs, even in different countries, or even in different fields and industries, one of the things they pay close attention to is their health. Reason, Napoleon Hill will also tell you that one of the cores, one of the major pieces in the puzzle of success is you being healthy. Okay, no wonder, that's why Mahatma Gandhi says that health is the #1 wealth. That if you're healthy, you think better. If you're healthy, you look forward to the future. Here in Uganda, there was a time where HIV had just been discovered in our country. You know, there's a place called Masaka in my country. That place is near a landing site on one of the biggest lakes in Africa, Lake Victoria. Now, people used to die in that place, and people were asking, why are people dying? You know, because initially nobody knew it was HIV. You know, someone gets sick, they become so small, so skinny, and then after a few months, they die. And then another one, and another one, and another one. Then later on, they discovered that the disease which was killing people was a sexually transmitted disease. Okay? And this disease will make your immunity so weak that at the end of the day, other diseases start attacking you. Tuberculosis, you know, all the funny infections start attacking you and they kill you. But then as research kept on coming through for this disease, it was discovered that people who got to know that they were HIV positive, they would die faster than those who never knew that they were HIV positive. Okay, and then they discovered that the reason why those who knew died faster is because the moment they were told that you are HIV positive, their hope disappeared. They knew it was a death sentence. So they would become stressed, they would become hopeless, they would already know they're about to die, so they would give up any hope. And guess what? They would die faster. Okay, so health, when you're not healthy, even your future, if they told you have a cancer now, for most people, their future, they lose a future. They stop believing in the future because they know anytime they're going to die. Okay, but if you're assured of you being healthy, just imagine you're assured of living more 70 years. You see, you would see yourself as someone who could do much more in the 70 years than when you were told you're only left with a week. However, we are also told that even if you're to live for 100 years, do things as if you're going to die tomorrow. You see, so health is a very, very important aspect of what we do. And you see, why do I connect with Alliance in Motion Global? Because it says to protect and promote human health. And we have already appreciated the fact that human health is a core of doing well. Your money will become useless when you have a kidney disease. I've seen that firsthand. I've attended to so many wealthy people who are ready to exchange their money for a new kidney and they couldn't get a kidney. And they died. And they tell you, doctor, whatever it takes, even if it means giving up everything, it's okay. But the only problem is that at that time, there's no one to give them a new kidney. So they see that all their money is useless, simply because now they have got to exchange it for their health. So health, when the company says to protect and promote human health, that's a higher calling. That when you're doing the business, you don't only look at the money, but you look at the purpose, the higher calling this business puts you in, you know, being able to give hope to someone who is HIV positive and they're about to die, giving hope to someone who is looking for a baby and they cannot get one. You're giving hope to someone who is suffering with diabetes. You know, they have erectile dysfunction, giving hope to this man who cannot even put his family together. The wife wants to leave simply because he's no longer performing as a man. He's another wife in the house. And then you give him hope with a unique product. That is a higher calling, sometimes even more satisfying than the man, you know. I have several customers of my products. Yes, they give me the money. Yes, I enjoy the profit, but the testimonials they send me, I find them more fulfilling and more rewarding to me than sometimes the profit I made. And that's why for me, I have so many clients who have been using these products for over 2 years, 3 years, that every month they give you a call for a refill. Reason, they have seen a benefit in their life. They are seeing their life becoming better. And you see, let me tell you, my friends, World Health Organization research was done, and the World Health Organization discovered that if you meet 10 people walking on the streets of Malawi or Zambia or Uganda, actually seven people have got a health problem. 7 of them have got something that's troubling their health. Okay, and so our business ceases to be just about making money. It also is about providing a higher value, bringing more value to the marketplace. And you see, health, when you're dealing in health is a replenishable industry. You see, people used to think transport industry is a big industry, until when they discovered that COVID could even stop the transport industry from operating. Okay, people used to think the business of construction and entertainment, that those industries mattered most, until when they discovered that when there is an issue of health, everything can actually come to a standstill. That's why for most people, most businesses which flourished in the pandemic, in the lockdowns, they were basically the food industry, people dealing in feeding people, and then the health industry, because those two, they cannot wait. Human survival is dependent on them. That's why for those who wanted in the COVID time, they made a lot of money from the product sales. So this gentleman, this is Thomas Edison, one of the best inventors in the world has ever seen. This is what he had to say, that in the future, and you see people are discovering now, that the doctor of the future will no longer treat people or the human frame with drugs, the Panadol, the ibuprofen, the whatever. However, the doctor of the future is the one who's going to treat people and help people to prevent disease with nutrition. And let me tell you, my friends, more people are becoming more interested in preventing disease than treating disease. That's why you find more people know that I need to take a supplement. Most people are looking for a product which can help them lose weight without side effects. More people are looking for a product which can help them boost their immunity. More people are looking for a product which can help them stabilize their pressure. They have taken all these antihypertensives for a very long time and they're getting fed up. Meaning if you show them something natural, something organic without side effects, they'll connect with it more. You see, because we are also discovering, or people are getting to discover, that the drugs in the hospitals, yes, they are good, but they also have so many side effects. And you see, most of these drugs, you have to use them for a lifetime. Talk to someone who has been hypertensive for the last 3 years, and they'll tell you how tired they are of taking the antihypertensives. I'm glad I saw Dr. Gyros here. I always hear his name, Dr. Gyros, Dr. Gyros. People are tired. And you see, if you come up with a good message like we have, and you package it well, and you're bold about it, you see, it is one thing to have a good message. It is another thing to promote it well. Sometimes the reason why people won't believe in your product is because you yourself, you don't believe in it. So you talk about it when you're scared, you're not sure whether it will work, you are not informed. Someone asks you a question about the product, you don't know them. In my team, there are people I usually challenge. Someone has been in the business for 3 months and they're still calling C 24/7. They call it 24/7. Called use, they call it choled use. Some people even just say that product which does like this, they don't know the name. Meanwhile, they have been in the business for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month. Then that such a person probably their future is not so bright. Because one man likes to say that if you don't know what you're doing, soon you quit. Okay, that if you don't know the value of something, you are ready to misuse it, or you don't know how far it can take you. So very important. Of course, we all know, probably have seen this, that the human cell, disease starts with the human cell. Every disease, cancer, pressure, diabetes, it starts with one cell getting a problem. If you had tomatoes in a basket, and you put one tomato which is spoiled in a basket, give those tomatoes just 2-3 days, several of them will be spoiled. So that's how even our body is, that when you have that one cell being attacked by the free radicals, being attacked by damage to the DNA, being attacked by, you know, the foods you're eating, very soon it's going to affect another, and then another cell, and then another cell. And the challenge is that most diseases which are deadly, they eat you slowly but surely. You know, leave alone this thing of you have an infection here, an infection there. But the diseases which are killing people these days, those are the diseases which kill you slowly but surely. And usually for most of them, it's a point of no return. You know, just about 2 weeks ago, there's a prominent businessman here in Kampala, you know, has wonderful hotels in Masaka, one of the cities in Kampala, one of very wonderful hotel. In fact, the best hotel in Masaka was the owner of that hotel. I think it was about 60 something, still young. Does his business like an evening like now, the normal business, and then goes to bed, and then they find him dead the following day on morning, they find him dead. And then what you say, what can kill a 60-year-old in his sleep? You know, no struggle, nobody killed him, nobody attacked him, you know, but he just breathed his last in bed. Okay, only to discover later that this man has been having a heart disease for some time. And guess what? I felt bad because I've been having conferences in that hall, and probably nobody had ever told him about our wonderful products, you know, our C24/7, our collodios. So the diseases which are killing people these days, those are diseases, they come slowly but surely. And when they come, they have come to stay, they have come not to go back. That's why a diabetic, once they detect that you have diabetes, you know you're going to be treated for a lifetime. You know, I have seen this in the people, especially from the Southern African region. You eat a lot of sima, and then others, I think they call it papa, you know, a lot of carbohydrate, a lot of meats. Okay, and then you find all these fat people, you find all these hypertensives, you find all these men who can't do things. You know, he's a man during the day, but at night in his home is another woman in the same home. Okay, simply because he cannot perform his duties as a what? As a man. So you end up with all these ailments which are coming slowly but surely. Just a minute, please. Just a minute. Yeah, so we have all these diseases which are coming through in a way that, you know, before people were dying of malaria, of infections, but these days people are no longer dying of infections because those things, they are abrupt, they come quick and they go quick. But now people are dying of diseases which come slowly, they eat them slowly, and by the time they realize, it is usually too late. That's the challenge. And now that's why we come in with all these a wonderful purpose, you know, a wonderful purpose with our unique products. Now, what does a person need to stay healthy? The things you need to stay healthy are not many. And I hope I'm talking to people who are in this business, not only for the sake of money, but they're healthy, but then also enjoy the money. You know, there's Jim Rohn likes to say, there's somewhere where I say that he worked so hard and he was so thin. And then he said, what if I become so rich, but then also too ill to enjoy my money? He realized that that was not a good exchange, that you make so much money, but then you wind up with a cancer which kills you at 40. He saw it was not useful to make a lot of money, and then you are battling with kidney disease, you're battling with hypertension, you are battling with cholesterol. He saw that that was not a good exchange, you see? So the things you need to be healthy are not many. And you see, you can't be disciplined with your health and you fail to become rich. That's one thing I've discovered, because the things which you need to be healthy, They are the same or similar things which you need to be rich. Okay, you need to be selective on the food you eat. Meaning, if you're to be wealthy, you also need to be selective on the information which goes into your mind. Because a person who just eats anything, definitely they will allow anything to enter their mind. And guess what? You can't allow junk getting into your mind and you think you'll be rich. Very unlikely. So a person who is so selective of what they eat, that same person will also be selective on what they think about. They'll also be selective on what they read, on what they watch. You see? So what do you need to be healthy? You need a good exercise. You know, if you're exercising your body well, it means your brain is healthy. You think better. You want those in the OPP. You want those in the training because you're healthy. But if someone who is not healthy, they're in a Zoom like this, they're dozing, meaning they're going to miss a point which could have changed their business. But because they're healthy, they won't doze. You know, they're healthy, they feel energy. You know, you need to sleep well. You need to sleep well. Research has shown that 5 to 8 hours of sleep are enough for any normal human being. Meaning, if you slept 9 hours a day, 8 hours every day, you are sleeping 8 hours. It means if you sleep 8 hours, it means you've slept 3/4, a third of your day. You spent it sleeping. Okay, so 5 to 8 hours of sleep are enough. You know, you need to remove wastes from the body. Okay, sometimes the people who comes is having all these headaches. They have checked all the tests and they are all normal, but the person is having headache. All they need to do is to detox, remove some toxins from the body. Adequate sunshine, a relaxed mind and body. You know, yesterday there's something I shared in the group. Someone was saying that the vitamin, you know, having money on your account can also boost your immune system, especially these days. If you have no money on your bank account, chances are high very soon you're going to be hypertensive because you're stressed. Very soon you're not going to perform if you're a man because your immunity is low, you're worried. Just imagine you have 1 million on your bank account, whichever currency it is. Probably you'll be more relaxed. You're not worried. You are even bolder. You know, if you're closing a deal, you close it with boldness. In fact, yes, the other time we were talking with my upline, with some of my partners, and they said, the best way to close a deal is go withdraw the money from your bank, put it in your pocket, and then go and make a presentation. The energy you will use will be different from that person who knows they have nothing on their bank account and they're telling you how much the business is paying them. Okay, so a relaxed mind, a happy soul. You need to be happy. To be successful, you need to be happy. You won't be happy after becoming successful. You must be happy before you become successful. Some people say, when I make enough money from this global business, then I'll take it seriously. When I make enough money from this business, then I'll be serious with it. No. What should come first is that you must be happy. You must be passionate before the business can work for you. But then the other thing which is important is that you must have a healthy food and diet. Very important. So a combination of these things is what gives you a good health. You see, and you see, we eat the foods which are so common. We eat protein, we eat carbohydrate, we eat fat, we eat, mineral salts, vitamins, and water. That's all the body needs. For most people, we supply a lot of protein. There are people who eat a lot of meat. I realize most people in the southern region, they love meats. The people eat a lot of carbohydrate. In my country here in Uganda, if you went to a restaurant, they will give you almost 80% carbohydrate in different forms. They give you some posho, they give you some cassava here, they give you some sweet potato. Same content, different forms. Maybe for you, in people in Southern Africa, you'll have a lot of posho and maize, carbohydrate. Others eat a lot of fat. But then, most times, what is lacking in the people's diet are the vitamins and minerals. Interestingly, those are the cores in the generation or in the development of the diseases we don't like. Cancer, pressure, diabetes, women who are looking for children that they can't get them. So, very important. And so what goes wrong is that you have a poor diet with a poor digestion. You find people are suffering from constipation. Someone goes to the toilet, but they're literally gonna make noise, someone goes to the toilet, but it's a war. You know, someone goes to the toilet relaxed, they get out and the eyes are red. He has basically been fighting to get the poo out. You see? So how can such a person think well? You know, the digestion is clogged. They always have constipation. They go to the toilet, they're fighting. You know, such a person cannot think well. You can now imagine that even the brain is fighting to digest ideas. You show someone a business plan, they can't understand it because the brain is so slow to process. They're not healthy. Okay, external toxins. And then at the end of the day, you have the cellular damage, which shows up in the different diseases we see. So that is why the source of free radicals, we know it. And you see, sometimes we know the problem, but because we don't appreciate the magnitude of the problem, we keep repeating the same problem over and over again. It's like a poor man. Someone has no money, but they keep waking up at 9. They keep waking up at 10 a.m. But the guy is broke. And you say, what's the problem with this man? He's broke, no money on the bank. He's a married man, no house, no car, no future planned. Meanwhile, he keeps waking up late. You know, a plain Bible likes to say it is weird that the poor people, someone who has no money on the bank account, they are the ones who sleep most. Meanwhile, the ones who are rich, they wake up even way earlier. And say, this man is rich. Why is he waking up like early? You see? So the foods which cause us problems, we know them. But interestingly, we keep using them. We keep consuming them. We keep doing the things which cause us the damage. We keep getting stressed with the jobs that we don't like. There are people who wake up every morning to go do the business, the job they don't like. You know, someone wakes up, he has woken up for the last 10 years doing a job he doesn't like, stressed throughout, or is complaining. So at the end of the day, we have all these free radicals, all these cellular damages, all things attacking us east, west, south, north, and you see in Africa, but even world over. You know, you go to the city center, if you've been to a capital city, and then you go in the up country, you discover that the quality of air you breathe is different. If you're in the city, around the city, the quality of air is hot, it is, you know, it is weird. But then you go to an up country place, and the freshness in the air you breathe is different. Reason, every day the fumes, the fumes, the quality keeps depreciating, you know. And you see people driving cars. You ask them, when did you last do a service to your car? They tell you last month, 2 months ago. But then you say, when did you last do a service to your body? They can't remember. Meanwhile, they don't know that your body is also a machine which needs servicing. You need to replace the oil. You need to check on the water. You need to check on the wheels. You know, you need to check on the brake fluid. You see? So that's where our cause becomes very important. That our products, given their uniqueness, they give you a higher purpose, not only for the money, but then also for the kind of life you can create for yourself, but then also for your people around you, people around your area, people in your country. Because that's where we end up, obese people, you know, people who are diabetic, people who are hypertensive, heart attacks. I've realized, for example, ever since I was in South Africa, but ever since I came back now, 3 weeks, I have seen 3 people die in my country on the news, prominent people, of sudden deaths. And all of them are dying because of cholesterol issues. Okay, so what do we have in common? What do we have that can create a change? Because all of us, regardless of the country where you are, people are struggling with cancer, people are struggling with obesity, people are struggling with pressure, people are struggling with kidney disease. And we know these things. And when we fall sick, this is where we run. You know, one man likes to say, you either pay the farmer or pay the farmer. You either pay a farmer to get his good food, or you're going to pay a pharmacist to supply you with these, which also in the end have got their own side effects. So what do you need to have a better life? You need a strong and balanced equation. You're healthy, you are also wealthy. Those are 2 good things to have. You know, you have money, but then you're also not sick. What else do you need? You can travel the world, have breakfast in Zanzibar, go have your supper in Paris, and then spend your night probably in Joburg or in Dubai, depending on where you want to go. So, and the source of antioxidants, we know them very well, okay? And those products, that's what we are supplying every day. There's what we call a food pyramid, a healthy food pyramid, that ideally, a normal human should have more natural food, more green food than the meats and the carbohydrate. That's how a normal diet should be. But by nature, our diet is very unlikely to be like this because sometimes of the cost implications. That's why now our calling becomes a better one. You know, the C24/7 with all the benefits, the cellular, the components, the fruits, the vegetables, the mushrooms. You see, when you're explaining the product, sometimes if you have a solution, but a person you want to provide a solution to does not understand the problem, they may ignore the solution. Okay, so what do you do if I'm presenting the product? I must first of all help you understand the problem at hand. Sometimes people have problems where they don't know they have problems. You need to paint the vision for them to know that, hey, I think I better take an action now. So meaning if you're presenting this product, or even when you're presenting the products in the OPP, you want all people to first appreciate the problem at hand. You know, you could be talking about pressure. Someone says, but I'm not hypertensive. This fool doesn't know if he keeps on eating the meats, the next year he will have pressure. Some people even have pressure, but they don't know they have. They discover when things are bad. So meaning if you're presenting the solution to the problem, you want to first help the people appreciate the problem, because some people have a problem, but they don't know they have a problem. You find this guy who is so fat, but he doesn't know he's fat. And he's giving the excuse, you know, me, I like my weight, but the fool is going to die, he doesn't know. So you need to help this guy understand that this weight, if it keeps going like this, chances are high you won't gonna make it. And you show them the examples of people who have not made it simply because their weight was too much. So you have the C24, you have all the whole fruits, we know already the contents in there. And then of course, the mushrooms, we know this information already. And then you have, so when you're presenting such a product, definitely it's not about the contents in the product, it's about the solution you're providing to the problem. Never present your product without understanding the problem of the person. Get to know what are their problems, what are their hope for the health, what's their vision for their health. You meet someone who is obese, why do they want to lose the weight? Because if they cannot have a reason to lose the weight, they'll not even stick to your Burn Slim program. They won't. So help to understand the problem and then help to provide a solution. You find someone who's hypertensive, get to know how long do you want to take the antihypertensives? Do you know the side effects of these drugs? Do you know they can spoil your liver? You know, give them examples of the people who have had the problem. Then provide a better solution to them. And so with that, my friends, allow me to end here. At the end of the day, one of the most important keys to success is having the discipline to do what you know you should do, even when you don't feel like doing it. Presenting your product to someone who needs it, even when you don't feel like doing it. Giving a follow-up call to your customer, even when you don't feel like doing it. Never sell a product to a customer and you don't give them a call after 24 hours. Call them so they can find out if the product is working for them. With that, my friends, allow me to wish you a blessed night. I hope my sharing has created some impact and helped someone to know that we are not only making money, we are actually changing lives with our wonderful products. That's why the company says the first thing is protect and promote human health, and then turn ordinary people into extraordinary millionaires. With that, my friends, I wish you a blessed night. Bye-bye.
Wow. Thank you so very much, Doc. But maybe before you go, sir, I really want to appreciate on behalf of the entire team. This has been a phenomenal training, and I believe every single person who has been able to attend it, they have been impacted in one way or the other. I would love to request maybe 2-3 minutes of your time just to address some few questions in case some people have, concerning their health and of course selling of the products, many of the things that we have actually knocked on. So in case you have a question, I think Doc can give us 2 more minutes and then we can let him go. Otherwise, thank you very much. All right, I think we have one here. Mr. Felix, you can unmute.
Okay, can you hear me very well?
Yes, Felix, you are clear.
Okay. I've learned much in the training, and thank you so much for coaching us. I've heard something like obesity and the others. So I just want to know that necessarily when we talk about obesity, I didn't get it properly. What kind of fats are there that can be turned into energy and glycols that can help to reduce in such kind of pressure? I don't know what kind of those fats. I would like if there can be good explanation, sir. I know you have explained it very well, but maybe there's a specifications on how best we can go into it concerning obesity. And also in terms of sugar, well, that's what we call diabetes. There's a sugar, is it type 2 diabetes? And there's type 1, in which when you place your hand and you find out that if you leave your hand, you find out that the skin comes back normally, but it will be slowly. So I would like if you can emphasize on this. I would like to know. I know that I'm asking also for others who never know. And even I don't know, I would like to learn more from you, sir. So thank you so much. That's what I would like to know. Thank you.
Okay. When it comes to obesity, I hope I've gotten your question very well. You're asking which fats can lead to obesity. What we need to know, my friends, that if you eat a fat, that if you know there are those foods which have fat, but even when you don't put them in the fridge, they will always solidify. Simple basics that if any fat, if you cook anything and the fat becomes solid, both at room temperature but all in the fridge, you know that is not good fat. But any fat which even you put in the fridge, it never solidifies, that is good fat. But then you should also know that when you eat a lot of sugary things, a lot of carbohydrates, and you take it in the body will take off energy, and then whichever energy is left, it will be turned into fat. You see, sometimes you don't eat a lot of fat, but because you eat a lot of carbohydrate, the carbohydrate is turned into fat and you still get obese. That's why in the management of obesity, you introduce on the carbohydrate intake. You know, if you're giving someone a counseling program, you want to help them also cut down on the carbohydrate intake. Because when you eat a lot of carbohydrate, that is papa, posho, cereal, maize, you know, things which have a lot of sugar, you know that the excess will always be turned into fat. So at least that's the basic where you can start from that obesity. Anything which has excess sugar, any fat which is solid at room temperature, but also in the fridge, will cause you obesity. So meaning if you're helping someone the products, you want to help them also understand. You know, sometimes when you're selling a product and you know, and you show your customer that you have this knowledge, you educate them, they even trust you better. That, hey, you're not just selling them a product, you're actually educating them about their health. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Doc. That was powerful. I believe, Mr. Felix, you have gotten the answer to your question. In case any other person has, we will take one more question, then we shall close up. Okay? We shall take one more question, then we shall close up. All right. Doc has to go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Doc, we really appreciate. I request Dr. Jairos to just give a word of thanks on behalf of the rest of the other members, from the rest of the team members. Then we shall actually let the doc go. Dr. Jairos, just a minute.
Thanks so much for the wonderful presentation. Yes, knowledge is power. Whatever you don't know can kill you. And so it's important that we really invest in knowledge. We need to read. We need to discover. once we have the information on our fingertips, we'll be able to do things differently. So we are very, very grateful for that enlightenment, for that wonderful explanation about our products. So I do agree with my brother that generally you need fruits and vegetables for you to maintain your weight. But sometimes we take too much of white bread and so forth and so on. And also sometimes there is this the so-called stock margarine. So that one, as my brother said, it is solidifies. So the one that is liquid, that's natural, that is the best. And so we are so grateful for this information, for the wonderful knowledge. And what's important is really to be practicing what we are being taught. We need to practice what we're being taught. I myself, I like to eat the so-called bad food in the sense of brown bread and people they ask me questions. They say, "Are you diabetic?" So I said, "No. Prevention is better than cure." And basically, if you are healthy, if you are fit, then you're able to do many other things. So a very big thank you, my brother, and I hope we've all been blessed. And I've actually been motivated. It's been wonderful. It's been exciting, and basically, our health products, they are there to basically enable us to live a healthy life. So thank you so much, and we wish all of you a lovely evening, and God bless. Shalom, shalom.
Thank you very much, Doc. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would love to actually appreciate each and every single one of you for having actually made it to our tonight's training. As we all know that every Thursday, it's a special night for our healthy and actually building our customer base, being able to grow our customer base, okay? This is a training basically targeting, enabling you to understand your products that you are dealing in. You will never sell something that you don't understand. But also, it's a training to accelerate your positional points because you are going to be able to buy products, to order products if you understand the products you have. It's very bad when you have products and you don't use them simply because you don't understand the power of the products that you have. So last Thursday, I left an assignment. Which of course I'm going to, I want to recognize people who have been able to actually hit the target. That assignment was to get 2 customers in the space of the 6 days. That is from Thursday last week up to today, actually 7 days. So if you were able to get the 2 customers, I would love you to raise up your hand or go in the chat room and type 2, okay, meaning 2 customers. If you were able to get 2 customers in the course of the week, please go in the chat room and type 2. Can you go do that? I'm here waiting. I'm seeing people. If you did the assignment I gave you last time, if you got 2 customers, go in the chat room and type 2. Okay. If you got 2 customers, go in the chat room and type 2. It means the rest of us. Okay, Dr. Jairos got 2. Dr. Albert got 2. Silver's executive, Mamalu Thimbulo, she got 2. Mr. Felix got 5. Wow. That's very powerful. Yes, type the number of customers you got. If you got 2, type 2. If you manage to get 2 customers, Mr. Sebastian got 2. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give a chance to one particular person. That is the top retailer of the week, I will say. And that is Mr. Felix. Mr. Felix has been able to get 5 customers in the course of the week. I'm going to ask him to explain to us how did he do that, okay? How did you get your customer? Where did you find them? And how was the process of you actually making a certain product? How much did you make? Something like that. Quickly, just share your experience, and you are given only 1 minute. So be as brief as possible. Then I'll also give a chance to a new champion, Mr. Sebastian. Sebastian has been able to get 2 customers. He's just one of our new champions. I think he should be the one to start. Then the one of 5 customers is going to go last. If you were able to get 1 customer, go in the chat room and type 1. Okay. If you were able to get 1 customer, go in the chat room and type 1. So, Mr. Sebastian, you have the microphone. Just under 1 minute, briefly. Can you just share with us, share with everyone to inspire those who are also actually fighting to see that they grow their customer base? Yes, can you go ahead, please?
Thank you, Champion National. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for this time. I appreciate for giving this chance to me. The first person, of course, she is my classmate. She was founded with a certain black spots, which she took a certain medicine, but at the end she was attacked by lashes, and those lashes left her with the black spots. So I explained everything about the product, but then she didn't come to me, and it was almost a month ago. But then it was last week. She found me at my home, and I gave her complete Phyto Energizer with a full package. After that, I gave her construction, how to take the medicine. Yeah. The second person, she have just contacted me today about the complete Phyto Energizer. I'm going to give her tomorrow the full package again. That's all.
Wow. Congratulations, Mr. Sebastian.